Hey guys, and welcome to another Pro Sales podcast. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new EX1R. Now, it's pretty much the same as the EX in many ways, but Sony's actually taken user requests and really boosted a lot of the functionality. In essence though, it's the same camera in terms of lens and most of the codecs, and it even comes at the same price as the original EX1. I reckon the headline new feature is that the EX1R will now record to both HD and SD. In the SD mode, the camera records to the DVCam AVI Type 2 files onto the S/X cards or even to the Sony memory sticks thanks to the new adapter. I think Sony got a lot of requests for this, as a lot of clients nowadays are broadcasting or advertising via the web, and for streaming they really don't need HD, so it just takes the time out of down converting and whatnot. There is also the new HD recording mode, which is 1440 by 1080 interlace or progressive at the 35 megabits per second. This allows you to write files to an XDCam HD without even having to transcode, which is fantastic. Another function change is the new S&Q user preset, which is now found on the side of the camera, whereas on the original EX you had to go into the menu and it was really fiddly to try and get to. You can now simply press the S&Q button on the side of the camera will go directly to the S&Q at your preset frame rate, then pressing the button again returns the camera to your preferred regular shooting mode. This is really useful for the occasional slow-mo shots and can be used in any of the shooting modes. And then another really cool addition is the cache record function that actually gives you memory buffer that stores up to about 15 seconds of video prior to you actually pressing the record button. This is a very useful feature for shooting sports or anything else that's difficult to predict. And then as you can see, we can record to the twin memory card slots that take the S/X cards and record up to about 280 minutes of HD footage on the 32 gig cards. So while there have been some really cool new additions, the bulk of the changes to the EX1 are ergonomic external changes. So even if we look at the handle, it's got a much smoother grip, which makes it more flexible and more comfortable to hold. We can also see a few of the buttons have changed slightly. The more assigned buttons on the top, and at the back they've actually added day glow color so that the operator can see the buttons in low light. Another nifty addition is the new on-off switch, which now locks in place, and you can also clearly see which mode you're in. And then if we take a look at the outputs, the old EX used to have a majority of the outputs on the side. And now they've moved them to the back, they're more easily accessible, and it includes the HDMI output to further enhance the features. Another thing that I'm really glad about is that they've replaced the viewfinder with one that has a higher resolution and is more reliable. With the old EX viewfinder, you couldn't judge exposure, it wasn't crisp, so this is really great. Yeah, and then the audio is pretty standard with the built-in stereo microphone and the 2-channel output. Overall, Sony has really done a great job at listening to clients' feedback and has come back with a well-revised product at the same price as the original EX. Thanks for joining us for another Pro Sales podcast. I'm Ruthless, and we'll see you next time.